ago here in Pittsburgh. Kano Gandara's squad coming in off of a very tough road trip up at SMU and now in Dallas. The modern day ACC for you as we get started with Babcock on the outside. And you are going to hear her name a lot today, Amanda.
We talked about the pin hitters for Miami, and the Panthers also love their pin hitters, but the opposite pins with the right side in Olivia Babcock and then the outsides that they have. But Rachel Fairbanks, a great server for this Panthers team at the line.
Olivia Babcock, someone who's not a senior, but kind of feels like she is just because of how much she provides to this Panthers team. Fairbanks to serve. And there is number 1 for for Grace Lopez. Miami ties it at 1, and this is a series for them that has not necessarily gone their way in the last few years. Last win coming a decade ago, and Pitt picking up a dozen straight wins in this series all time. That one well out of play off the serve, and that's the kind of thing you want to avoid if you're Miami. You're coming on the road, you're trying to get a big upset. It's the little things that you're going to want to fine-tune, those small mistakes like service errors and things like that. Or if you want to get a result here, that's what you're going to have to avoid, especially as the game goes on. Unforced
errors will be huge for Miami to try to avoid as a team that is receiving votes in the AVCA poll.
Set goes on the outside, and there is Flor Marie Heredia Colon with her first.
Actually, Grace Lopez on that far pin.
Oh, excuse me. Yes, it is her again.
And that'll be something to watch. Grace Lopez being a lefty, so the block has to set up differently. You have to set up a little bit more on the inside, so the Panthers will have to adjust to that today.
Tip over there from Kelly, and a chance going back to Lopez again, and she is off and firing here early on. Lopez, someone who was on the All-ACC freshman team last season. Hard to remember that she is just in her second year with this Miami program. Picked up 14 kills on 37 attempts last time out against number 10 SMU. Good serve there. Had Cook scrambling a little bit, but the set goes back to Babcock outside, and 6 total points so far and 2 total players with kills with Babcock and Lopez.
This is a great pass by Emmy Klicka to keep that ball alive. Rachel Fairbanks just putting the ball up high in the air, and whenever you have a player like the 6'5" Olivia Babcock, you can really put the ball anywhere near the pin, and she's going to find a way to put it down.
Cat Flood to serve, one of the more effective servers in the country, and her and Olivia Babcock do it in very different ways. She's more of a finesse player than a pure power from the service line, but gets it done at a high rate nonetheless. Speaking of at a high rate, back to Olivia Babcock on the outside. Kill number 3 on 3 attempts for her.
So much power behind that swing, and it's really about the play of the Panthers. You see the assist there coming from Cat Flood. They're one of the best teams that you will see in the entire country at out-of-system play. Pretty much any player on the court can either use their hands on a second ball or else able to bump set a second ball and put it in a great spot for their teammates.
You give Olivia Babcock time and space, and that's what she will do. Fairbanks back set, back to Babcock, and she is on fire to start this first set.
Idalise Rosado on the back line for Miami, having a tough time really trying to get around the ball, but you have to credit Olivia Babcock for being able to get through the block. So it's really her blockers that she needs in front of her to get some hands on the ball coming off the hand of Olivia Babcock.
3 consecutive points for the Panthers with Cat Flood at the service line. Rodriguez, the set goes back to the middle. That time it was Dahlia Wilson with her first.
Dahlia Wilson's been a great player coming in as a transfer from Kansas State and has made a big impact, leading the team so far this season with 91 blocks.
Wilson, a native of Turkey, had 2 kills on 10 swings against SMU. Another powerful swing for Tori Stafford. Her first kill of the day.
And Zach, we thought that Tori Stafford was an incredible freshman player, but she has jumped her game up to another level this season. She is leading all outside hitters in the country, hitting over 375, which is unheard of.
Oh, a heck of a serve there from Babcock. Back to the outside, Stafford blocked that time from Miami. Into that block with Wilson.
And there's
Miami holding strong in this first set here.
And there's that leader in blocks that I just mentioned, Dahlia Wilson, picking up her 92nd of the season and just getting it in on that back line.
Babcock set in the middle again, and that swing is just so powerful from her.
And she really has Rodriguez's number. That's about the 4th time that the ball has come around the libero for Miami and just not able to get her arms around that ball.
That's the versatility of Olivia Babcock for you. You can set her from just about anywhere on the floor, and she is going to deliver just like that. 5 kills for her on 5 swings, helping propel Pitt out to a 5-7 lead in this first set. So it looks like we're going to get a little bit of attention for the line judge on the end here.
I'm not sure if it's the attention for the line.
I think it's her glasses that may have come up and snapped on that shot from Olivia Babcock. Looked like she was grabbing from after that point, but
that would be kind of an important thing, I would say, if looking for.
Yeah.
I love the fact that
Flor Marie's over there.
Flor Marie,
yeah,
is trying to assist her as the eyeglass popped out of her frame.
Can't say I've seen this one before, but very nice of Flor Marie to come over and give a hand for what she. I'm not sure she's efficient in fixing glasses necessarily.
I mean, she can do a lot. She's looking at trying to get 1,000 kills in her career. She's only 11 away from that. Still looking to pick up her first of the day here with just 1 attack attempt, but it's really been all about Grace Lopez and Olivia Babcock here early on.
Yeah, it has run through both of them so far. I mean, both teams, small sample size, of course, but hitting over 600 in the early part of this game, so the firepower so far has not disappointed us. It looks like the line judge is going to try and get a replacement here, but we'll take a minute to talk about Dan Fisher and this team who has just continued to, power through. They had that loss against SMU, and you thought maybe that was going to be the first roadblock of the season for them, but they've really picked up right where they left off before then since the SMU loss.
And Zach, it's funny, before the match on the big screens here that we look at, it shows consistently for about an hour and a half that Dan Fisher's home win percentage is at .867. Yep. So if you want to come in here and try to win, you're going to have a very difficult time coming in to the field house to try to pick up a victory. Yeah,
I've been coming to these games for about 4 years now, and that stat has not changed. It's been a consistent domination.
And you see what they've done over the past 4 years with those records.
4 total losses.
Exactly. 29 straight home wins, including the postseason. Truly incredible, and they've also continued to sell out their games. Another sellout here today, Zach. This place is packed. The bleachers behind us is full of people here today. And you mentioned there's also a home Steeler game
against the Ravens.
This place is still packed.
Yeah, it's just a fantastic atmosphere every time you come in here. We put on these headsets, and it kind of usually drowns out a lot of the noise, but we are right in the middle of the crowd, and it is loud all the time. Doesn't matter if it's set 1 or set 5, you are going to get some noise from this Fitzgerald Fieldhouse crowd, and no difference so far today. As Ken Ogondura's team comes in and is trying to pick up another ranked win in what has been a very up and down season for them. You've seen them beat these teams like Stanford, like Texas, but also have some head-scratching losses on the schedule. Well, he said it's about finding that consistency with this team, and he says he knows it's there, and they can really take a big step today with a win at Pitt.
They're looking to try to beat their second #1 team this season, as at the time you mentioned, they beat #1 Texas early on in the season, but then they kind of faltered a little bit and had some rough patches. They also had 2 losses against Florida State as well. So they just, as you mentioned, kind of had that up and down season, and Coach Keno told us he has a younger team. When you look at the matchup that these 2 teams had last season, none of the top players for Miami are here today in the matchup. So they lost a lot of key players and are replacing that with a lot of young players, with other players who kind of were role players in previous seasons really having to step up and pick up some of the slack from those players that graduated.
Miami winners of 7 of their last 9 now after that road loss against SMU. And if you're watching that game, you saw them have it was sort of the epitomization of their season. They showed a lot in that first set and said, hey, they can hang with this #10 team in the country. It's just keeping that consistency throughout the entire game was something they couldn't quite get to after that first set there. And it's just kind of been the story for them most of the year, it feels like. Going back to Olivia Babcock as well, 5 kills on 5 swings for her. And Every time you feel like you're going to watch one of these games and say, okay, maybe this is the game where she kind of has a hiccup a little bit and they have to go more through Tori Stafford. Hasn't been the case so far today, and just all season long for her, it's been the story. Just such consistent play from that outside position. And
you have to credit Rachel Fairbanks for getting her the ball in great spots, but also the fact that you have Tori Stafford on that far pin. So as blockers, you have to stay honest. You can't cheat one way or the other.
Right.
You have to stay honest and ready to move to your right or left. And so when you have both of those players on the court, you never know who's going to get the ball, especially because Rachel Fairbanks can set the ball from anywhere on the court to either one of those players.
Yeah, you talk about the strength of these pin hitters, and oh, by the way, you got Bree Kelly and Ryla Jones in the middle as well. So it's sort of a pick your poison situation if you're going against this Pitt team, where you can usually say, okay, if we exploit this weakness in a team, we can, you know, gain a little bit of an advantage. But for Pitt, it's really tough to find that weakness.
It is, and especially when they are also very efficient at back row attacks. So they are able to run their hitters, whoever they have in the front row, but they're also able to run hitters out of the back row.
Right.
So you think that you're prepared for what is right in front of you in the front row, and then the next thing you know, Rachel Fairbanks sets Olivia Babcock in the back, and then
there's really no easy rotation for this Panthers team.
As we will have a backup line judge.
Wow. Cross this one off your bingo card.
Having a backup line judge just here at the game.
Yeah. Not sure who this mystery man is, but he will step in his white t-shirt and black slacks.
He's a very experienced volleyball referee, actually. I have had a number of situations where I dealt with him coaching club volleyball, so very experienced backup that we have here.
Hey, always be ready. We're back to play finally, and Heredia Cologne finally picks up her first kill.
So odd little break that we had there, but Heredia Cologne kept herself ready to go.
You mentioned those 30 kills against SMU. I was looking at that game in the box score, and I was telling you before we got on air, it looked like a misprint at first. You don't see 30 kills very much in a 4-set match.
Exactly, 4 sets with 30 kills.
Fairbanks, great set in the middle for Jones. Both offenses clicking on all cylinders so far. Miami 714 hit percentage. Pitt now up to 667 after that one from Ryla Jones.
And you can see how quick the ball got to Rachel Fairbanks, got out of her hands, because the block did not have nearly enough time to be able to get up. They were only getting up as Ryla Jones was already swinging at the ball.
Yeah. Neither offense really losing much momentum since that stoppage in play, as Dylan Griffin now comes to the service line. Serve in the middle, that time wide from Ashley Carr in the middle.
And that's something that Miami really is going to need to be effective here today. You know that they have their pin hitters that are going to be great, but they need some efficient hitting coming from other players on this team.
Getting some balance, especially in a match like this, would be critical for Miami here on the road. Block that time from the Panthers, but there will be a net violation, as looks like Rodriguez hit the floor at the end of that play there as well.
Hit the floor. She was under the net on the Panthers side, so a tough play there. Great job of Miami to keep that ball alive, but it was just such a tough play with a lot of players that were out of position.
Panthers on a 3-0 scoring run once again. The 10-6 lead here in set one. Rodriguez back to Lopez. Number 4 for her already. So maybe coming in sort of seen as that secondary option, Heredia Cologne, but she's been the focal point so far for this Hurricanes attack.
And even as a sophomore, we talk about the Pitt sophomore, she is one of the top offensive players in the ACC.
Vasquez Gomez, powerful swing from her, and that will catch hands on the block. So number 1 for Vasquez Gomez celebrating her senior day, as we mentioned before as well.
And just a great swing. As you said, she just has so much power behind it. She's not one of the tallest players, and she's not going to jump as high as some players, but she's just able to power through any block.
Good set there from Emmy Klicka as well. Combining for point number 11 for the Panthers in set 1. Into the block, but recovered well by the Hurricanes there. Back for the Panthers, another strong swing from Kelly, and it's just too much for Miami.
Again, credit Miami for being able to keep the ball alive on their side. As long as you can keep the ball up, you have a chance in the point, but the Panthers just being very efficient on the other side and not giving them a second chance at the ball.
Fairbanks to serve. And that one out of play, so an uncharacteristic, unforced error there from Rachel Fairbanks. First service error for the Panthers. Miami won to match theirs, as well as Heredia Cologne will come to the service line. Nice set from Fairbanks, combining with Kelly. Bree Kelly coming off an injury last year where a lot of times you're not the same player when you come back from that sort of catastrophic injury, especially that early in a season, and she has come back and really not missed a step so far this year.
And when we've talked to Coach Dan Fisher throughout the season, he said she really was still feeling the effects of that injury coming back early on in the season, but then as time has gone on, she's been able to really play more freely and not have to worry about that injury. With a great dig there from Vasquez Gomez.
What a play from Vasquez Gomez, and Babcock finishes the point.
Vasquez Gomez is about 30 digs away from 1,000, and you can tell that she wants it bad with a dig like that there.
Boy, that was a heck of a play on the back line for the Panthers as you take a look at it again.
Wow.
Off the deflection as well.
One-armed, and look at Fairbanks being in the perfect spot, setting from the far sideline all the way to the closest pin.
Vasquez Gomez to serve now. Oh. No mistake there from Heredia Cologne, her second.
Heredia Cologne now just 9 kills away from 1,000 in her career. As we mentioned earlier, had a incredible match just 2 nights ago with 30 kills against SMU.
Rosado to serve. That ball into the 5th row of the stands as Pitt leads 14-9 midway through the first set.
Again, the biggest thing for this Miami defense is to try to get touches.
This is ACC basketball, where greatness is defined by grit, determination, championship coaches. This is ACC basketball, where greatness is defined.
It's just so tough to game plan for. 3 of the 14 players nominated for the National Player of the Year. Just an incredible testament to what Dan Fisher has built within this program and the talent development that has happened here in Pittsburgh. As one of those players, Babcock, with a strong swing, as it eventually deflects off the speakers up top. That's how much power was on that one.
And a great dig in the middle of that rally coming from Kat Flood. Another one of those seniors that we mentioned, a role player, but when your number is called, you need to produce, and she does it every time.
Miami seemed to have a little bit of momentum here at the start of the first set, but Pitt has strengthened their grip on set number 1 since then. Free ball now for the Hurricanes. Middle, into the block again. Miami able to recover, though. Outside, and the change-up there from Gershon, unable to get down, and then Pitt puts it into the block, but out of play. So effectively able to tool the block there, and this Panthers team is on fire here in set number 1.
And again, the defense, they're just able to find ways to keep the ball alive. And look at this save again from Kat Flood, running all the way over to her teammates there, and then just the Panthers, again, the name of the game is keep the ball alive, as we see the service error there from Kat Flood. But as long as you can keep the ball up and pass it off to your opponents, then you are putting it in their hands, but keeping yourself alive in that point.
Service error ends a 3-0 run for the Panthers, who are hitting, get this, 8-12 in the first set. Klicka, Stafford trying to get up there, but Pitt able to get the point as Miami looked like they came over the net there. Stafford was looking for the attempt.
I think that ball actually, somehow Stafford was able to hit it off the hand of one of the Miami blockers, and then it went off of the blocker into the antenna, and that is an automatic out of play call there. So really smart and really great job of Stafford getting up on that ball to get it off of a Miami blocker.
Quite the bang-bang play at the net as Olivia Babcock serves it long, and that's something you're going to kind of get with her serve sometimes, is it's not necessarily going to be laser, it's not finding corners necessarily all the time, but you'll take the errors with the absolute power she brings generally from that service line. Oh, and a sneaky little play there from Fairbanks.
She doesn't do it often, but when she does, it is good.
And you've seen her ability to kind of set anywhere on the floor, and then you got to account for this. Just so much ground to cover if you're the defending team, and too much to handle for the Hurricanes. Stafford serving. Already a Cologne into the block.
And the Panthers going with this lineup. So Tori Stafford is serving right now. Blair Bayless came in for Rachel Fairbanks. So the acting setter in this rotation right here is actually Tori Stafford.
Dan Fisher said she's able to be a setter if they need her to be. And in this circumstance, she has been put into that role and is performing well so far for this Panthers team as Miami gets on the board then with Wilson, her second. So Lopez with 7 total attempts, Heredia Cologne with 6, and Wilson with 4. So maybe a little bit more of a distribution than we've seen so far with this Miami attack. Moisio serving for Miami.
How about Ashley Carr in the middle? My goodness.
Again, maybe a name that's not going to shoot to the top of the list when you're talking about this Miami team, but getting up and putting it back down here for the Hurricanes. Still a 7-point deficit for them here in set number 1. Set a little bit behind Vasquez Gomez there as the Hurricanes will get a chance, and Heredia Cologne's locking in a little bit here towards the end of the first set.
And a great dig in that play from Grace Lopez to get the ball up and then getting the ball out to Heredia Cologne, and she knows exactly what to do with it.
Hurricanes getting a little momentum, 3 consecutive points for them now. As Babcock brings it into that.
We need a rally
9.
killer.
Oh.
Give the ball to number 5.
That's number 9 for her in under 1 set of play so far. Talked about Heredia Cologne's 30 kills last time out. Babcock's kind of on that trajectory now here. Nine for 9 for her, 1,000 hitting percentage. Swing from pretty far out there, but effective from Lopez. Going cross court and doing so with success.
Grace Lopez, very efficient here today. She is 5 of 8 hitting at a 625 clip. And again, she has that lefty swing, so I think the Panthers block is having a tough time getting in front of her arm.
Rodriguez to serve, a qualifier for the 2024 Olympics with the Dominican Republic. As the Panthers able to tool the block again. And they're trying to pull away here in this first set.
And how about being able to say that, Zach? Oh, what'd you do over the summer? Just casually went to Paris and played in the Olympics.
It's like, one person's like, I went to the beach. It's like, well, this is a little bit more extreme than your usual summer vacation, maybe. Fairbanks. Nice set that time. And it goes right back to Heredia Cologne, who's got 4 now.
Beautiful one-handed set there from Feliciano, somehow able to get that ball up.
Pinpoint accuracy as well. Trying to keep it alive, and Stafford able to get it back over and just out of play. Boy, that would have been something.
Again, the Panthers somehow find a way. Just a little off target there. You can see Valeria Vasquez-Gomez keeping it alive, and then Tori Stafford gets the ball over, which is incredible for how far away she was.
Just a prayer from Stafford there, but it lands about 2 feet out of play as the Panthers get right back to it with Kelly in the middle. I tell you what, if you came into this one and you told Miami they'd be hitting 348 in the first set, you'd think they'd take that against this Pitt team, but still down 23-17 as Pitt's hitting 739 in set number 1. Boy, such a strong swing from her again. Heredia Colon, they were containing her a little bit towards the start of this first set, but up to 5 kills for her now.
Yeah, between Heredia Colon and Lopez, they have 10 of the 12 kills for this Miami team.
Babcock, nice dig there to keep it alive. A little bit of a scramble at the back there as Vasquez-Gomez couldn't get around Fairbanks, and Miami able to get the point. So the Hurricanes maybe get a little bit of momentum back here late in the first set as we take a look at that again.
Somehow Heredia Colon kept that alive, but you could see there that Rachel Fairbanks had fallen to the ground on the bit.
Got some bad news for you. Miami trying to get back in it. Fairbanks to Kelly. Set point.
The back set, not something you see often from the Panthers coming out of that timeout. I think that's something that they had set up. If we get a good pass, we're going to run that back set, and so quick off the hands of Rachel Fairbanks into the arm of Kelly and finishing that off with authority.
Yeah, Cat Flood trying to serve to finish off a very eventful first set, to say the very least. Had the delay and pretty much infinite offense from both sides. That one out of play from Lopez. Miami thought they might have a touch there. Down things leaving out. They finished at 720, so it didn't really come back down that much. As Fairbanks served to start the second set. Nice dig that time from Klicka back to Vasquez-Gomez. Good recovery again there from Babcock just to tip it over. Heredia Colon into the block for the Panthers, and it does go out of play though, so it will be point to Miami.
Heredia Colon just swinging with everything that she has every time going up against that big Panthers block.
Boy, do we have some heavy hitters in this game or what? A little bit of trouble there for Babcock, or excuse me, for Stafford and serve receive as Miami trying to get some space to work out to Klicka now. Setting Stafford in the middle, and a really nice play there to tip it over again. I believe that was
Carr in the
again.
middle.
She's played really well so far.
She had a big block in that first set, huge block, and then there, just seeing it come off the hands of Rachel Fairbanks and getting up as Stafford was in the back row, and a little bit of a low set, so Stafford not able to get anything on that one.
Really strong serve that time from Heredia Colon. Out to Lopez, throws the changeup, but Pitt able to recover. Fairbanks, what a set there. Vasquez-Gomez. Free ball now for the Panthers. Setting Babcock.
I wouldn't call it a pretty point, but nonetheless, it goes over to the Panthers.
We've seen a few of those so far where it looks like each team's going to win the point at separate times and just kind of keeps going. That line judge we mentioned also returning back again after apparently getting her glasses fixed from that first set incident, but good to see her back out there as well.
And she got hit on the nose. It looked like she was bleeding on the side of her nose as well, so toughing it out here today.
Tough customer there as another swing from Lopez successfully down. That's a half dozen for her. So Miami off to an early lead in set number 2.
You see there again, that's the perfect angle to see that block. Tori Stafford needs to get that block set in more, because with the left-handed swing coming, that leaves so much space on the inside for Grace Lopez.
Stafford, boy. Firepower on both sides early on.
Heredia Colon thinking that she was in the perfect position for that pass, and the next thing you know, the ball is just falling to the ground right off of her arm.
Pitt's hit percentage since that first set has dropped to .594. Here's Flood. A little bit of an errant set there. Miami able to recover, though. Back to Lopez. Strong swing, but into the block again.
Solo block from Tori Stafford. Miami just not able to get the ball over at all on that point. The Panthers owning the net. You can see there, started off with Babcock and then finished off by Stafford. That ball was not coming over.
Hear the pop on that block as well. And Stafford, 3 digs, 1 block, 4 kills for her, doing a little bit of everything so far today. There's another. This time Jones and Babcock.
Olivia Babcock saying, all right, Tori, I see what you did there. I'm going to one-up you, getting my block almost directly down inside the 10-foot line.
Another run at the service line for Cat Flood. 3-0 now for the Panthers. Lopez trying to get up and over that block, but it won't matter. She's able to tool it and will go out of play. That's the benefit you have when you swing that hard, is you're able to, even if the block's up there, you're able to kind of counter it. Just what Lopez did there.
And credit Miami for still going strong with their swings and not trying to hit around the block, which typically causes a lot of errors.
Another real strong serve there. Stafford swinging into the block again. Free ball for the Hurricanes. Going to the outside. And out of play. So another point for the Panthers.
Great job.
Miami led 3-1.
And a great job in the middle from Dahlia Wilson again. One of the top blockers in the ACC, transferring over from Kansas State. Just the Panthers somehow able to keep it alive.
That was Gushing hitting that one out of play. And there's the products of another strong serve for the Panthers. You can get stuck in a rotation with Olivia Babcock at the service line.
Great job there of Vasquez Gomez hitting that seam between the two Miami players. That 5-6 seam.
Miami just has to tip this one over now. Setting for Jones in the middle. Into the block again for the Panthers.
Ariana Rodriguez trying to go up against a double block. The joust goes to Pitt.
You see here the counter there, just too much for the Hurricanes, who once led 3-1 in this first set, but now trail 7-4. Winning the battle at the net.
Take a look at this one. You'll see going up for the joust and then 4 Panther hands against Rodriguez.
Strong swing that time from Lopez, countered. Rodriguez setting in the middle. What a dig there from Klicka. Ball goes back over. Miami saves it again, though. Into the Pitt block, and this point continues on. Babcock finally finishes the deal. What a point on both ends there. Babcock picks up number 11.
If you're either coach, I don't think you can really be disappointed with the effort from your team on that play. Look at Klicka there again.
And the set, too.
Ryla Jones just keeping the ball alive, sending it over.
Wow.
Finishing it off there, Olivia Babcock. You can see how fired up her team was with the way that they played on that point.
Saw the set there from Jones at the end. Just high-flying action on both ends, the story of today's match. Miami counters there, and they needed that point bad. Falling behind a little bit after leading earlier in the second set.
I think that one just caught the Panthers a little off guard. The quick set to Dahlia Wilson, who doesn't typically see a lot of swings, and Babcock just not ready for that one.
Stafford trying to pick that back corner and does so successfully.
Beautiful set there from Emmy Klicka to get the ball to the near pin for Tori Stafford. You can see there just putting it in the perfect spot, and Stafford going up the block a little bit late on that one. Not able to get in front of Tori Stafford.
I am really curious what teams say in these team meetings during the week about how to defend these two pin hitters for the Panthers. It's just a constant flow of pop from them. So Miami picks up a point there. Number 6 in this second set, trying to gain a little bit of traction here midway through set number 2.
Milana Moisio into the game, serving for the Hurricanes.
Maybe a little bit of a mishit there from Jones, but almost effective nonetheless. But Panthers get it back. Nice dig on the receiving end that time by Feliciano. Oh. That's a dozen for Babcock. Hitting 786, entering that point.
How about the pancake from Grace Lopez? Then the one-handed set from Rodriguez. But then so much power. You can see the big hole in the block. Ashley Carr very late to try to close that double block, and you cannot have a late block against Olivia Babcock.
Babcock 12 kills on 15 swings so far. Good for an 800 hit percentage. Lopez trying to match. Stafford out to Vasquez Gomez, and the Panthers unable to get it back over. A nice job by Rodriguez and a few others up front there. We've seen a few times. Miami once again trying to crawl back in.
They're still always hanging around.
Yeah.
Only a 3-point lead. They're not letting the game get too far away from them.
In an environment like this against the #1 team in the country, it is easy to get put away in sets like this, but Miami just continues to hang around. Kelly, boy, tough to defend there from the middle.
When you're passing as well as the Panthers are, that's exactly what your offense can do. And you can see again, Ashley Carr just not able to get in front of Bree Kelly because of how fast everything happened. She just tried to get up and put hands somewhere close to Kelly's swing.
Fairbanks in service again. Rodriguez, another curveball there from Carr in the middle. And Vasquez Gomez tools the block again for the Panthers. That's number 3 for her.
Great dig there from Tori Stafford on the backside on that serve, and then Ashley Carr's hands just completely facing out of play. And Valeria Vasquez Gomez, such a smart player, as we mentioned, one of the seniors, a 6th-year player for this Panthers team.
Pitt hitting 5'11" for the match. Too much power again that time from Heredia Colon. And she has really picked it up. A little bit of a slow start for her, but ever since the delay in that first set, she has been absolute nails for this Miami team. 9 kills on 17 attempts so far for her. That one off the top of the net and over. You will take them as you can get them.
The lucky roll off of the net there. Bree Kelly trying to use every inch that she had to see if she could get that ball up, just not able to do so.
Very thin line there between a service error and an ace. Babcock, the strong swing again. Number 13 for her.
With how quick the Panthers' offense is, that's what makes it so difficult, because as a blocker, you can't lean one way or the other, but you have no chance to get there when it happens so fast, as we see the service error there from Vasquez Gomez.
That's the 4th service error so far for the Panthers. Maybe a little bit higher in that category than Dan Fisher might like for that to be, but team still leading here in the second set nonetheless. Rosado to serve. Babcock trying to catch hands, and she will. 14 for her. We're not even halfway through set number 2.
I mentioned it earlier, her season high is at 22, and I think that will very easily fall today with how efficient she is swinging. Flood
serving again. Ooh, nice Nice swing that time. It was Gushing again.
Gushing, another one of those transfers coming from Hawaii, where last season she had 128 kills. Again, another one of those efficient transfers that Miami was able to bring in.
Senior from Germany as Miami gives it right back there.
So tough whenever you're keeping yourself within reach, just about trying to keep it within 3 points, and then those unforced errors just at inopportune times.
An unfortunate person to see at the service time if you're a Miami fan. Another ace there from Olivia Babcock. Second on the day for her to go along with those mere 14 kills. Boy, just a heat seeker right there.
And you could see Grace Lopez trying to get out of the way, but it just came down right on her foot.
Really only so much you can do at that point. Blocked again. And again. Tori Stafford has been a menace at the net front. 3 blocks for her.
And along with the middles, which they like to try to activate as much as they can, especially on a day like today when they're passing so well, they're able to get the middles involved. We know that Babcock has her 14 kills, but then there's some balance behind her. Stafford with 5, Brie Kelly with 5 kills, Vasquez Gomez with 3 kills. And there it is.
Absolute missile again from Babcock.
History made.
The program record for single season aces, and it comes on the serve we have seen from her so many times, just towards that back row, and just how do you stop it? At some point, it's just you just watch it go by, and you're like, man, this is what we're facing. And Miami really trying to get out of this rotation now. A 4-0 scoring run with Babcock at the line. Setting Stafford. Already a clone trying to put an end to it, and she will catch those hands and get Miami back on the board after 4 consecutive Panther points. Number 54 for Olivia Babcock. We still got a ways to go in the season as well.
A number of games, including the postseason. And that might be the only way to stop Olivia Babcock, is using a triple block, as we just saw there. Every player in the front row was trying to stop Babcock on that play.
Reasonably so. 722 hit percentage, 14 kills for her, and make it 15. Barely got a chance to get the stat off before she had another one.
And that's how quick this Panthers offense can be at times. You look there, see that set. And so smart from Fairbanks. She was actually right next to Olivia Babcock on that play, and Olivia Babcock coming from the back row.
Lopez able to get the point that time for Miami. Went into the Pitt block, but still able to get Miami back within 5. Pitt now hitting an even 500. So Miami's 236 so far in this match. Vasquez Gomez with pop.
I said it before, she might not jump as high, but she can sure hit as powerful as anyone in the country. So much torque on that swing, just able to get her arm around so fast. And no block up in front of her, able to get that down on the back line.
Try not to blink too much so far in this match. You've missed quite a bit if you have. 20-14 advantage for Pitt. Griffin serving. An effective serve that time. Miami scrambling a little bit in serve receive. Now free ball over for the Panthers. Kelly back to the middle. Nice block that time from the Hurricanes. Rodriguez. Griffin setting Vasquez Gomez, and it does catch the hands. Players on the floor from Miami seem to disagree. We'll see if we get a challenge, and we will.
It looked like an awfully high swing from Vasquez Gomez. And again, this is the rotation where the Panthers don't have a definitive setter, but the acting setter in this rotation is Tori Stafford.
The original decision was touch. Miami is challenging that there was no touch.
Panthers. The original call was touch. Miami trying to get a critical point back here in the second set. It was tough to tell from up here if they got the hands on it initially, but
and it really, you said it, Zach, it really is a critical point when you look at it. If they're able to get this point overturned, then that means that it would be 20-15 instead of this 21-14 spread that we see.
It is so tough to tell. Really good look from our crew here, but you get the feeling, and it gets redundant, but indisputable video evidence seems to be kind of the calling card for these sort of reviews, and I'm not really sure you have it here. We'll take another look.
And the key there as well is the fact of what it
don't have all the angles we have on the replays as well. It's just such a difficult job when you get down there. We're looking at it in slow motion and still can't really tell. Making it in live action is even tougher than that, and Miami's trying to get a little momentum here.
slow motion with a magnifier.
Yeah, I'll go back to what you said, man. Glad we're sitting up here because that is one tough job. You get a look at this point from the Hurricanes. The block for them has been effective here in set two. Fairbanks setting Vasquez Gomez. Miami able to recover. Already a clone taking a swing from pretty far back there as Babcock swings and gets it down again effectively. 16 for Olivia Babcock. Kind of running out of things to say about her at this point.
Credit to Ariana Rodriguez for keeping that point alive for her team, but then Babcock just going inside of that block, so Heredia Clone needing to pull that block off of the pin on that play.
Heredia Clone thought she caught hands there, but according to the referee, did not. We'll see if we get another challenge here for...
He won the first one, so why not? Again, trying to keep his team in this first set, and he will challenge. Can't find the green challenge card, but he's pulling it.
We'll get the review nonetheless, though.
The original decision was no touch. Miami is challenging that there was a touch on the play.
Care to make... Original call was no touch. Commander, care to make a prediction on this one?
I don't. I'm honestly so bad.
I have no idea either.
So bad at calling these. Every time I think that I know what it's going to be, I am wrong.
Let's see. I don't know.
Your guess is as good as mine.
I am not sure.
So the original call, again, was no touch.
Right.
Great set there from Rodriguez.
I say no touch still.
I can't say that I see fingers moving backwards. Again, loving the magnifier. But these are the views that we are seeing. We want to remind you that the views that the official is seeing are different, as I think he has a ruling here. We'll see what that is.
After review, there was a touch on the play, point to Miami.
And they will say there was a touch.
See, I told you.
Point goes back to Miami. I'm just going to stop now.
I never want to be in one of those blue shirts down on the court. That's why I sit up here. I talk about the game. I analyze what's happening.
And
I credit the officials for the job that they do.
Yeah, absolutely. Not much more you can say than that. That is, I have to say, across all sports I've seen, that might be one of the tougher calls to make, just in general, because it's so just bang, bang.
Happening so fast.
Keno 2 for 2 on his challenges so far is a bad service error there for Miami.
Just when you get that point back for your team after the challenge.
That was number 1,000 for Heredia Cologne as well upon that review. A few milestones here today on both sides. You had Babcock with the program record for aces, and now quadruple digits in the career of Flor Maria Heredia Cologne. Quickly able to counter. Strong swing that time, but a stronger block from Bree Kelly and others.
Others is the key term on that.
Yeah.
I think there was about 3 blockers up, but the Panthers defense, watch this one-arm dig from Emmy Klicka, getting it to a good spot for Rachel Fairbanks to get it up and keep the point alive for her team, but then here we go, triple block, no space.
Not really much he can do there. Vasquez Gomez serving. Nice swing that time again from Gushing. 2 kills for her. Maybe not the day she was looking for coming in to today against Pitt, the transfer from Youngstown State. Pitt still 2 points away. Rosado to serve. Babcock, 17, set point for the Panthers.
17 on 21 attacks, hitting at a 762 clip.
I mean, are we serious at this point? Only 1 attacking error for her too, and given the volume of work she's seen, that's an impressive number in and of itself. Cat Flood serving for the set. Lopez trying to find the court, but she can't. Set number 2 goes to the Panthers, 25-18, and they are in control once again here at the Pitts. As much towards the end of the match as well, leading to this point. So we'll see if that changes here as set number 3 begins with Miami in service. Heredia Cologne, another strong swing from her, and she is up to a dozen kills.
Trying to inch her way closer to the game leader in kills, and Olivia Babcock with those 17.
24 attempts for her today, which it almost seems like a relatively low number for her, just given her massive workload so far this season. Babcock swinging again. Fairbanks back set. Babcock going cross court. Nice dig again. And Gushing, but the Panthers back at it again.
A really nice rally between these 2 teams. We saw a lot of defense, and then they're just too much going up against the block of Bree Kelly.
And the block has sort of been this story for the Panthers so far. 2 for Bree Kelly personally, along with her 5 kills. Might be overlooked a little bit in the box score with Olivia Babcock 17, but she has been a really strong presence in the middle once again, hitting 625. Has one dig as well to go along with those 2 blocks. Almost an ace there again for the Panthers as Klicka comes up with the dig. Set Heredia Cologne, too much for Klicka that time.
Great job by Miami that time to take the free ball and try to be as quick and efficient as possible, going with the back set over to Heredia Cologne.
She serves, and it is long, so another service error for the Hurricanes, their 4th of the afternoon.
And it looks like we're going to have a challenge from Coach Keno, thinking that there was a touch. It seemed a little bit awkward as Olivia Babcock was kind of running right by the ball, and then Tori Stafford was there on the back line as well.
Original decision was no touch. Miami is challenging that there was a touch before the ball hit out of bounds.
They will be challenging to see if there was a touch before the ball actually went out of play. Original ruling again was no touch, so see if there's enough there to get it over.
After review, the ball was in, point Miami.
So they will say the ball was in and give the point to Miami.
Interesting. They were challenging for the touch, but then saw that the ball was in, so.
That's a new one.
So did he win the challenge?
They got the point, so we'll say yes. So maybe not the initial thing they were looking at, but Miami able to get the point nonetheless and go up 3-1. They've taken a few early leads in these sets and haven't been able to hold on to them, but that lead is now 3 in set number 3. Gushing struggled early, but she's turned it on a little bit as of late.
And the defense from Miami really doing a great job here in the 3rd set of picking up everything that's coming at them. And an ace.
One jammed up Stafford a little bit on the receiving end, and Miami out to a 5-1 lead. Take another look here, and that one catches Stafford up high. Expecting that one to dip a little bit more than it did. Babcock, look out, nice dig by Rosado, but the Panthers answer again. 4-0 scoring run for Miami snapped there, thanks to Bree Kelly.
Big swing on the outside from Babcock, but then Bree Kelly waiting just enough for that ball to come over onto her side, allowed to touch it then, and putting it right back in the middle.
Lopez out of play.
Unforced errors coming back to bite Miami. They have a 5-1 lead. Panthers able to get a point, and then they're hitting the ball out of play and handing a point over to the Panthers.
Lopez 8 kills, hitting 190. Missed cross court there again. To drop that Miami lead down to 2 in this 3rd set. Already a Cologne, really strong swing, better dig on the receiving end that time though by Fairbanks. Gushing into the block. Lopez, again the dig from Klicka. Stafford trying to tip it over. Another lengthy point. Babcock, once again, ends the lengthy point. 18
Defense.
kills for her. Cool.
Defense, keeping it alive again. You can see here the bump set coming from Klicka. And Klicka now has 4 assists on the day.
You get the feeling these pin hitters are just wearing out Miami in this 3rd set. Strong swing from Lopez. Good counter from the Panthers. Kelly, yes. So Pitt answers Miami's 4-0 scoring run with one of their own. And we are back knotted up at 5.
And they're getting it from different areas. So we've seen Bree Kelly really come alive here in this 3rd set. And previously, all match, it has been Babcock, but other Panthers getting in on the action.
Trying to tip that one over was Luli.
Lulick there for Miami, the first time that we've seen her getting action here coming in this third set.
Bianca Lulick, I haven't said her name a ton today, but I'm able to get that attempt over there. 6-5 in favor of the Hurricanes. And another service error for them. It's the unforced errors we've talked about all day long.
Now 4 service errors to go along with 13 attack errors.
It's the consistency. What we've been talking about with them since the start of the year. It's there for the team. It's about tapping into that consistency and just doing the little things right. This can be a really good team if they're clicking on all cylinders, but just unable to tighten those things up so far today. Wilson answers.
And that's what they can be. We saw the good pass and then the quick set coming up from Ariana Rodriguez. Quickly to Wilson, and the block just not able to get there in time.
And that really feels like when they're at their best. They have these strong hitters up front with Heredia Colon and Lopez, and the Panthers replicating that efficiency right there with Ryla Jones, number 2.
Looks like a Ryla Jones fan club
Yeah.
has come to the game today with their Ryla t-shirts. A freshman for the Panthers. She has stepped up in a big way all season.
Game leader in blocks as well with 5. Another really strong serve, and that's what it can do. When you struggle and serve receive like that, it gives opportunities to players like Stafford on the pin. And she, once again, makes no mistake. Number 6 for her.
Great job there of Stafford getting back on that play so that she could go forward with that overpass.
So 6 kills and 7 digs for Stafford. And we try to get out of this rotation again. Olivia Babcock just wreaking havoc again in service. 4th service ace for her of the day. 3-0 run for the Panthers.
And make it 5.
What else do you even say? It's unbelievable. Doing it in all facets of the game. Olivia Babcock, ace number 5 to get Pitt up 10-7 in this third set, trying to complete yet another sweep here at home.
She had 12 aces last month against Boston College in one game.
Into the Pitt block again. Number 8 on the day for the team.
And I want to point out, thank you to our producer, Kelsey. That was in 3 sets that she got 12 aces. So she was averaging 4 aces a set.
Unbelievable. Babcock again, a missile. And the job easier for Stafford. 12-7 Panthers as Miami took that lead early in the set, but it has evaporated due to just the firepower of these hitters for the Panthers. That kind of says it all, that reaction there from Stafford. Everything going right for the Panthers once again today.
6-0 scoring run.
Trying to make it 7. Tip goes over, and Miami finally able to get the point.
Trying to do anything that they could to get the ball over and down on the Panthers' side to stop that service run.
And an ovation for Olivia Babcock and the Panthers after that extensive run from the service line, and Miami is going to be happy to not see number 5 back there for another point. Well, they still got to deal with her from an offensive side of things, though. Kill number 19 for Olivia Babcock.
Just because she's not at the service line doesn't mean the ball isn't going to come really hard and fast off of her arm to the Miami defense.
At this point, you got to think, too, they're doing everything in their power to try to take her out of the equation because she has just been so dominant today, and nothing really just seems to be working. 6-1 run for the Panthers. Fairbanks will take a seat. Stafford back to serve. Just over the block. Vierlon now into the game, setting for Vasquez Gomez. And they give the point to the Panthers once again. Keno reaching for the challenge card. That was Blair Bayless into the game for the Panthers.
She did just recently change her hair color
Yeah.
to brown
Original
from blonde,
decision
so
is touch.
It
Miami
really does
is
look like a different
challenging, there was
person
no
down there
touch.
compared to the blonde, but another challenge for Coach Keno. Original ruling was touch, so the Panthers got the point originally. We'll take another look here. And once again, Miami seemed pretty adamant that they did not have a touch here. But another game of wait and see.
I think he might have another win.
Yeah.
I don't see any fingers
I don't
go
either.
back. But again, the view that you're seeing is not all of the replays.
The original
that
decision
our
is going to be
official will
reversed.
see.
There was no touch on the play. Point Miami.
And Coach Keno is flawless in his challenges today still.
He is at times keeping his team in the match.
Absolutely.
With all of the challenges that he has at important times to try to keep his team in it. He has challenged and won.
Another vital point. The Panthers now lead 13-9, a score that'll make some Pitt football fans smile potentially. Moisio to serve. Free ball for the Hurricanes. Heredia Colon can't get that one down. Another great recovery defensively from the Panthers. Lopez, strong swing again, and Babcock somehow able to dig that. Babcock, the set from her knees to Valeria Vasquez Gomez. Boy, oh boy, how do you stop this Pitt team?
Look at this defense. Rachel Fairbanks just one-handed flipping the ball over to her teammate and then finishing it off of the top of the block, but a set from the knees of Olivia Babcock. We thought we had seen it all from her today, but she needed to fill up the stat sheet, and now she has an assist to go along with 19 kills and 5 aces and 3 digs and 2 blocks.
Griffin to serve. Heredia Colon still bringing it. 14 now for her. That was her 30th swing of the afternoon.
You see there, Bree Kelly late on the block, so that was a single block up against Rachel Fairbanks, and a little dancing there from Heredia Colon.
Kelly, nice swing from the middle there. Towards the back and effectively. That's 8 for her. And Pitt is back out to a 5-point lead in this third set, trying to complete yet another sweep. Fairbanks, nice swing that time again in the middle from Carr.
And we've seen a lot of defense from Carr, but getting in on the offensive action there. So we saw a quick set to the middle for the Panthers for their last point, and then a quick set there for Miami.
Hard to believe that's her first kill today. Feels like she's been pretty involved there, as you mentioned, defensively for the Hurricanes. Babcock looking for another. Lopez. Set goes out to Vasquez Gomez. Oh my, somehow Rachel Fairbanks able to keep that up for the moment, but eventually it will find the floor.
And Klicka and Fairbanks both down on the ground. Fairbanks able to get it up with the pancake, her hand flat on the ground and the ball coming off the backside of her hand.
Back to Stafford. Boy, oh boy, another missile.
And that one where Yaidelise Rosado is saying to her blockers, if you guys could just get a hand, a finger on the ball, slow it down a bit so it's not coming directly at my face.
Boy, that's got to be terrifying. Just in the firing line was Rosado. Gushing. Now Babcock again. Gushing and Carr able to get up and get the block that time. So don't look now, but Miami finding some traction here in set number 3. Panthers still hitting .430 on the day. .420, excuse me. Another really strong swing for Bree Kelly, who now has 9 kills on 12 attempts.
All started, though, with a great first pass, and that's what we've seen all afternoon from the Panthers. The great pass there from Stafford, the quick set coming from the hands of Fairbanks, and then the block not able to get set up for Miami.
Getting those efficient passes into Rachel Fairbanks really opens up so much for this Panthers team. Tipped over and out of play that time by Miami.
That set a bit tight from Rodriguez, and Lopez really only had a chance to try to tip it over, trying to get hands, but not able to, and pushing that ball out of play.
Cat Floods had some pretty good runs at the service line today for Pitt. Now 2 consecutive points for Pitt. Trying to seal the deal here and pick up ACC win number 15. Jones misses wide on that left side.
A lucky break there for Miami, who had the overpass, and then the unforced error from Pitt.
Miami returns the favor with another ace.
And that's what can happen. You have the unforced error from the Panthers handing a point over, and then you have an ace. So 2 quick back-to-back points.
Grace Lopez, the first person not named Flor Maria Heredia Colon to pick up an ace. But that one out of play. 19-15 lead for the Panthers. Flor Maria Heredia Colon with 4 aces. And the person you see there, Olivia Babcock, with 5. Ooh, and that one just missed. And Dan Fisher may put a challenge request in for this one, and he will do just that.
Quickly going to the card.
That was close.
Dan Fisher.
That was the one play where we have a decent view of from up here down the line, but
original
Olivia
decision was
Babcock
ball out.
making a bid for
Pitt is challenging that the
ace
ball was
number
in.
6 on the day. So originally ruled out, and a point to Miami. Dan Fisher trying to flip the script. We'll take a look.
Original
Real close
decision
again there on
confirmed
the
the
back
ball was
line.
out.
And Dan Fisher unable to win the challenge. That one did just miss long.
Not having as much luck as Coach Keno there on the challenges.
Yeah. So Dan Fisher 0 for 1 in challenges. Fortunately for him, though, his team 6 points away from picking up yet another sweep. Babcock. That is number 20 for her.
Her season high sits at 22, her career high at 23.
We're getting there. Take another look from Babcock. Just
You can see
Too much
Dahlia
to
Wilson upset with herself there. She was in position, just didn't get her hands turned in play.
Good pass that time from Heredia Colon, but no one there to receive the set initially for the Hurricanes as Babcock puts it into the ball. So Miami now within 3 again. They keep battling, man. They will not go away in any of these sets. And with the firepower they have, you don't want to give them too much room to breathe. Moisio back to serve again. Ryla Jones in the middle.
All started with a great first pass, a low pass, which gets the ball quicker to Fairbanks, and then making the decision to go to Ryla Jones. You see they're so quick that as Ryla Jones is going up, the block does not have enough time to get up, leaving a lot of space there for Ryla Jones to hit off the top of the hands.
Dylan Griffin serving. Heredia Cologne tools the block. Miami back within 3 again.
And Heredia Cologne with the pass, and then Heredia Cologne with the kill. A great job by Rosado to get that ball out for Heredia Cologne, and then tooling it off the hands of Bree Kelly in the middle.
Maybe in the shadow of Babcock a little bit with her 20 kills, but Heredia Cologne with 15 of her own. Vasquez Gomez, business as usual again. On the pin for her number 6. Maybe not her best day statistically, but she has been effective defensively as well today too, we've seen.
6 kills to go along with 4 digs for Vasquez Gomez.
Lopez into the block again. Yet another block for the Panthers. They are now up to 9.
And that's a solo block.
From guess who?
Olivia Babcock. Now 3 blocks to go a number of times that she actually can jump higher and hit harder than Olivia Babcock.
The benefit of this Panthers team is just the depth. Their season is far from over, even with an injury to one of their key players, just because of how many players they have coming off the bench who can really do a nice job. Hurricanes trying to avoid the sweep here, as that one will go out of play, and the Panthers have match point. Hitting percentage for the Hurricanes has sunk to 198 as the day has gone along. The Panthers now on a 3-0 scoring run, hitting .414 in this 3rd set. Fairbanks serving for the match. Outside, Olivia Babcock trying to end it. Back over and into the block for the Panthers. Vasquez, Gomez, and Kelly combined to give Pitt the match, and number 1 just keeps on going.
And a great finish there for the senior, the 6th-year player.